Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katrie and today we're going to be doing the Girl Scouts cookie tag. Alright guys, so I got tagged by Lucy from the Lucy Chronicles to do the Girl Scout cookie tag. Thank you so much for tagging me, Lucy. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I've never had any kind of Girl Scout cookies, so I don't know what any of these are. I'm so sorry, but I'm still gonna do the tag and do my best. But yeah, let me know. Should I try the Girl Scout cookie? Should I give it a go sometime? All right, so the first one is Trefoils. Trefoils? Foils? This is a cookie. So we got a cookie and then something that goes with the cookie. And this is a classic novel you love. I believe Lucy said that this was like the original Girl Scout cookie. So that's why it's a classic. And for that one, I wanted to go with something that I hadn't really talked about on this channel before. I'm trying to do a little bit more that I haven't talked about, doing my best here. But I went with The Little Princess, or A Little Princess, excuse me, by Frances Hodgins Burnett. I really love this book. I think I got this when I was like 9 or so and read it. So I adore this book. It still is one of my, oh, there's something in the book. Don't you love it when you leave bookmarks in the book and then you forget about it and then you just, oh, there's a bookmark. But yeah, I love this one. If you haven't checked it out, it's a really easy read. It's not too long. This is about 300 pages long. But yeah, it's a nice short little fun classic novel to read. All right, and the next cookie is Lemon Ups, which I feel like I might like this kind of cookie because I love lemon. I love lemon flavored everything. So I probably like this Girl Scout cookie. And that is a book that you find inspiring. For this one, I'm going with Selfless by Megan Fate Marshman. Living Your Part in the Big Story of God. This is a very short book. So it's super easy to read. It's right over 100 pages. Super short, super easy. I actually heard Megan at a leadership conference that I went to, and I loved her talk and her speech and stuff, whatever you call it. And so I realized that she had a book and I picked it up, and I found this very inspiring and very like encouraging. And I don't think I've ever talked about it on this channel. So it's really just about like learning to be less of yourself and to like fit into God's story, and yeah, to like be a part of that while being, you know, and not having it all on you and about you, which is kind of, I think, against what the culture teaches about everything about yourself. So I really liked it. I really found it encouraging and inspiring. I do have one other that I wanted to talk about too, and that one is Unbroken by Laura Hillenbrand. This is a World War II story about Louis, what is his name? Louis Zamperini, something like that. So yeah, this was a really inspiring story, really hard and big, and you know, there was a lot of hard moments in this, but it was inspiring. It really was. So this is a historical nonfiction. She took from like letters and journals and people and all of this stuff to like write this story. The end, especially after he comes out of it, is probably the most, I would say, inspiring part of it, but it's definitely a good read. So, all right, the next cookie is s'mores. And I mean, who doesn't love s'mores? Like, of course I want a s'mores cookie. And that is a comforting book, because s'mores are comforting. For this, I went with one of my all-time classic favorites, and that is Percy Jackson. This is the first one, The Lightning Thief. Guys, this was one of the big series that like got me into reading, and I loved reading. Probably like series-wise, besides like standalones, this was the first like series I really read through and loved. And I just love it. It's just a comfort read. I can always just go back and I'm just so comforted all the time. If you haven't read Percy Jackson, it's a great book to check out. I do know that Rick Riordan is not staying clean for kids anymore, even though he's making middle grade. He is putting gay stuff in a lot of his newer books, so I would be wary, but this is older. The original 5-book Percy Jackson series, doesn't have any of that in it. So, and I also wanted to put another one on here, and that is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. This is just such a comfort, like, romance read for me. It just makes me giddy and happy and comforted, and I love it. I have not loved, I have the rest of the series here, and they look so good. They look so good all together. But, sorry, I've not loved the entire series, to be honest with you. The second one bothered me with some things, and the third one made me so mad with some things that they did. So overall, it's not like a comfort series for me, but this first book is my favorite. It is a comfort read, and I'll just forget that these two exist sometimes, but I'll keep them because of how beautiful they look on my shelf. So yeah. The next cookie, number 4, is Adventurefuls, which that is such a fun name. And this is an Adventurous book. So for this one, I was like, adventure. And all I could think of, guys, was The Hobbit. Let's go on an adventure. Like, this is the epitome of adventure. J.R.R. Tolkien started this adventure thing. Like, kind of. But this is a good book, guys. This is a classic fantasy book that made way for a lot of fantasy nowadays. And it's such a comforting, just little adventure book. And it's actually The Hobbit and There and Back Again. But yeah, so I definitely would say this one. There is one other giving too, and that's Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. I love Peter Pan, guys, and I don't know, it's also something that I think of when I think of going on adventures, like, let's go to Neverland, you know? So if you haven't read this classic, I think it's really good. There's a lot of things in here that is not in the Disney. Peter Pan is a little bit of a different character, but I really like this. Yeah. So I'm obsessed with Tinkerbell, so anything that has her in it. All right, and number 5 is Samoas. I might be mispronouncing that. I'm sorry if I am. I'm not sure what kind of cookie this is, but it's a book that blends 2 or more genres, so I'm assuming it's kind of like a mix of a cookie. And for that, I went with Splinter by A.G. Howard. I'm not sure how many books I have on here that blend genres, but this is like a fairy tale retelling and a fantasy and a romance, like all 3 in one. So that counts, right? But yeah, it is an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and it is kind of like set in our world, but as happens in Alice in Wonderland, she kind of falls into Wonderland. But Wonderland is quite a bit different, and there is a love triangle in this. It is a, I believe, 3-book series. It's a trilogy. And I really enjoyed it for like a little retelling. I don't believe there was anything inappropriate in this. It's a YA, and I don't recall anything graphic or inappropriate. So, but you might want to double check. Warnings, it's been a couple years since I read this though. All right, so number 6 is Do-Si-Do's, either a book you love that everyone seems to hate, or a book you hate that everyone seems to love. So Lucy also said this, and that's Harry Potter. There's a lot of mixed reviews about Harry Potter within the Christian community. Some are like, that's witchcraft, and others love it. So I just felt like I should go on here and say, I also love Harry Potter, and no, I don't think it's witchcraft. So that's unpopular, I'm sorry. I'm also going to say 13 Reasons Why. There's been a lot of controversy and back and forth about like, why would anybody like this? And you know, only people liking the show or only people liking the book or whatever. I don't think I ever watched the show, but I honestly really liked this book. I liked the way that it was set up. I have not read it since I first read it, but I read it in a day, like in 2 hours. It's probably the fastest I've ever read a book. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. So that's one. For a book that I hate that everyone seems to love, guys, I've talked about this before, but I don't know why anybody likes the color purple. I hate it. I think it's gross. I don't think it should be literature, so bye-bye. All right, and then number 7 is Thin Mints, one of your all-time favorite books. And I was like, gosh, I have so many favorite books, and I feel like I talked about a few of my favorites on here, and I've talked about a few of my favorites constantly, like Jurassic Park, one of my all-time favorites, but one that I don't think I've talked about on here very much, and that is and always will be an all-time favorite for me, is the Chronicles of Narnia series, guys. The Chronicles of Narnia. Every single one of these books, the whole series, is some of the most amazing books I have ever and will ever read, and I know that it will always stay that way. Always. If you've not read the Chronicles of Narnia, you need to. You need to. There is a lot of, C.S. Lewis was a Christian author, and I think some people are kind of like, oh, well, I don't want to read the fantasy series. And it does have a lot of stuff for Christians to find extra meaning through stuff, and allegory and stuff like that. But guys, there's nothing plain and whatever. It's very much like good and evil, like most fantasy series are. It's not, this is not his nonfiction where he's talking doctrine or anything like that. This is a fantasy series, and it's a heck of a good one. So if you're into fantasy and you haven't read the Chronicles of Narnia, what are you doing? You need to go. You need to get off this video and go read the Chronicles of Narnia, and then come back and tell me how much you love it. So yes, this is the one I'm going with. All right, guys, so the last question is to just tag some friends, some fellow booktubers. I don't have a ton of friends here on Booktube yet. I'm so thankful for the few that I do have. Lucy, who tagged me, and I just kind of figured that I do a little bit of a Mod Podge. I know that bigger booktubers might not see when they get tagged for things, but I'm just gonna throw out like the people that I love to watch. So I just have a whole Mod Podge of a ton here. First, I'm tagging Faith in Books, Samantha over there. She is one of my little book pal buddies, so I tag you. Do this tag for me, please. And also Becca's Book Adventures, Becca over at Becca's Book Adventures. I'm not sure, she's been a little MIA over there lately. I'm not sure if you're still doing it, Becca, but if you are, I would love for you to do this tag. We miss you. And also Emma at Emmy Reads. I love watching her. She reads so much classic literature. She's a doll to watch, and I really enjoy watching her videos. And then Hannah over at the Teachers TBR. She's also just a doll to watch. I love watching her videos. Go give her some love. Do this tag for me. Jordan at Jordan Elaine is another one that I very much enjoy watching. Lauren at Lauren_Jean, I think. I'll make sure to put everything down below. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, Lauren. Irma's over at Moose Talks Books. She is somebody that I knew when we were younger. We played soccer together, and I love her channel. I know she's a little bit busy with a new one, but if you have time to do this tag, would love to see it from you. And Oceana from Oceana Gotta Read 'Em All, one of my favorite Christian booktubers. She's such a sweet treat to watch. Every single video that she puts out, I've got to watch them all. She is a darling. So if you guys aren't watching her and are looking for a good Christian booktuber, you should go over there. And then Rachel from Rachel Catherine. I don't know if it's that Australian accent or what, but I just adore her. I can just sit there and watch her videos all day long. Literally, she's like the sweetest thing ever. Might be a little bit of her Australian accent, but nonetheless, she's super sweet and adorable. Tabitha at Tabitha Gabrielle 5432. She is really fun and sweet. Love her videos. And Haley from Haley Fam, I think everybody knows her. I love her videos. She's so much fun to watch. Amanda from Book Lover Amanda is another great Christian one here on Booktube. And Ashlyn from Ashlyn Callie. She's so much fun to watch. Her and her husband. Me and my husband love watching her and her husband's videos. So yeah, I will link all of the tags down below. I know half of these people may not see them, but I just thought it would be fun to just kind of like throw the love and support out for all bigger and smaller booktubers that I just love watching myself. So yeah, thank you so much, Lucy, for tagging me in this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.